What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York, calling from the quarantine zone again, and this time we are here with John of Cerebellion. Great to be able to talk with you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's so great that you guys are continuing to make music. As I was telling you before we started rolling, I saw you guys play in Fullerton, California at NAMM 2017. That was
Right.
the first NAMM show. That was my first time ever in California, actually. And
Oh, wow.
so
Crazy.
Cerebellion plays an important memory for me on my first trip to the West Coast.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that was a great show. Dot Coyle and the boys and yep, Slide Bar. Slide Bar just closed down. It's kind of crazy.
Oh,
That
really?
was kind of an institution. Yeah.
Just because of the pandemic, or?
Yeah, I think that's what got him, yeah. But yeah, it was kind of a little hub, in Orange County.
Yeah, but there's still great
It's
venues
fun.
in Los Angeles that are killing it right now as well, right? I was at this
For
place.
sure.
Is Loaded Hollywood still around? That's where I first saw Vegas Nerve.
Oh, okay. You know what? I've actually never been there. I know what you're talking about. I think it is. I think it's still there.
Yeah, and then there was another cool venue out west somewhere. That was I saw. I forgot who I was seeing there. It was one of the former members of ISIS, but it was a great show. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, but
Yeah, no, there's a lot of new venues too, like in downtown LA and different parts of LA. So
all right, yeah,
yeah,
you guys are
yeah.
still killing it. You guys will always be New York's competitor. So yeah.
Yeah, how's the scene there?
It's hanging in there. New venues are opening up. There were some venues that sadly crashed and burned, but I think it was bound to happen, pandemic or no pandemic anyway. So I think in the end, everything happens for a reason, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I hear a lot about and see a lot about St. Vitus.
Oh,
It
yeah.
seems like a rad place to see and do a show.
If you go down to my interviews before the pandemic, you'll just see thumbnail after thumbnail of me in the St. Vitus basement with a different band. I live there. In fact, where I am right now,
Oh,
I'm like a 10-minute walk from there. So,
oh, nice.
yeah. It's
That's rad.
Yeah, but it's awesome to have you here. Thank you for continuing to make music. I'm glad you guys are still out there killing it. We got the brand new single out, which I know was dedicated to the pandemic and everything that's been happening. So with this new single out, just tell us, like, was this something that you just recorded out of a spur of the moment thing? Was it just sort of like like a idea that came out of nowhere, or were you thinking really hard during this time of isolation before the song sort of saw the light of day?
Good question. Well, so we did an album last year that released November last year, called Beyond Our Failures. And like at the end of that, we were kind of like, well, we don't know when this pandemic's going to end, like what's next, and we kind of thought about, we don't know when live shows are coming back, and so we're just like, let's just keep writing, we're catching a groove with that anyway. And we kind of wanted to outdo that record, and so yeah, so that song, Until I Can Breathe, I think that's what you're referring to, is one of the singles from our upcoming EP that drops actually next Tuesday, September 21st.
Awesome. Could the Until I Can Breathe
So,
serve as a good representation of that EP and what the entirety of it is going to sound like, or is that just one little taste of this EP?
I mean, yeah, it does definitely sonically. I think that's pretty much, production wise, that's basically what it sounds like. But all the songs are a little different. And obviously, like we kind of pride ourselves on each song having its own identity and its own soul.
Yeah. I mean, there's something you can say EP, and it's as well as being an EP. Can that maybe serve as a entirety as a direction of, or a representation of the direction Cerebellion is going into?
Yeah, I would say so. It seems like the last couple out, like Beyond Our Failures, we kind of, as far as, I'm a guitar player. So as far as guitar playing goes, like we seem to be, drop tuning a little bit every, every release. Like it's just getting heavier, I think, musically, vocally as well. But, Joe's like, he's not a screamer. I mean, he used to do that, and he will do that here and there. He kind of sprinkles it in, but for the most part, it's not like what you're used to hearing with like like the music as the backdrop, you would probably, a lot of people expect like kind of more brutal vocals, you know, and it's just a different take on it. So
Yeah. Well, I've noticed like with your albums such as Regeneration as well as Beyond Our Failures and Union, for example, it almost seems like it did get heavier every single time. Was that just always your
yeah,
intention, or did it just sort of happen that way?
I mean, gosh, we've been into and playing heavy music for a long time, but yeah, I don't know. For some reason, every record we do, we're like, we need to go heavier, you know, and go deeper, go heavier, and then you know, but it's also, you also want to like just do the extremes, not just heavier, but also more melodic, you know, and just obviously you're always trying to up your game with songwriting. So, and that's really important to us is the songwriting part. It's, I don't know, our take on it is like writing somewhat focused songs that are also, that also kind of have twists and turns, you know, they're not predictable, they're not like, we're not trying to be like radio rock or what do they call it,
Butt rock.
active rocker, you know, that's not, yeah, butt rock or active rock, that's just, you know, we do want our songs to be, you know, catchy and focused, but like still imaginative and, you know, I don't know if that's the right word, but just, you know, twists and turns and unpredictable.
Well, when I saw you at Slide Bar, I was actually really fixated on your performance because I thought like you had like a post-hardcore sound. Like, I mean, I'm gonna get this might make one eyebrow raise over the other in terms of what the first artist was I thought of, but I thought of a little bit of Dillinger Escape Plan when I saw you guys.
Oh, wow.
But like you also had like a
I love
melodic
that. I mean,
you also had like the melodic tendencies of like like I've always said it is sort of like a mainstream sound versus a not at all mainstream sound. I guess the best way to describe it,
yeah.
love it or hate it, it's as if early Stained was trying to do something like what Dillinger Escape Plan was doing.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude, that's crazy. I like that. That's interesting. I actually, it's funny. I just saw Stained open up for Korn the other night, and I was never really into them, and you know, I'm still not gonna like rush out and buy their records, but like, but they were good, man. That guy can sing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, that's a crazy reference. We love Dillinger,
Yeah. And
you know, and I think I guess I don't know. We definitely try to put on an energetic show, and like they're the Kings, you know, as like we saw one of their last shows like on their farewell tour thing when they came through Orange County, and I mean I've seen them multiple times, but yeah, they're the bar for energy, you know, energetic show, you know. So
yeah.
if
Well,
we can get anywhere on that spectrum, you know, that they kind of set the bar for, like we're stoked.
yeah. Well, are you at all like influenced by your fellow peers in the Orange County like hardcore metal scene? Like, I'm good friends with this band called the Arson Choir. Great like mathcore band. I don't know if you've ever played or seen them, but they're incredible. They're like I call them the Coast Glassjaw. But
Oh, okay.
like, are you?
No, I've
Oh, you were saying?
no, I haven't heard of them.
Oh,
Um,
recommend you check them out. That would be a great show. Cerebellion,
Yeah.
the Arson Choir.
oh, dude, we're into it.
But
Yeah.
are you like at all taking inspiration like from the local Orange County scene in a way, or has Cerebellion always kind of like did its own thing?
We've always kind of been on, we never really fit in, you know, like, I don't know, we just, whatever we were doing, like, was just kind of the wrong place, time and place, I guess, you know, like, I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, no, we definitely love like Avenged Sevenfold. You know, I don't think we sound like them, but, you know, I think, you know, we're definitely influenced by Metallica, and I think even Joe's vocals still kind of, you know, are closer to like Metallica than they are to like I don't know, like, you know, some metalcore band or you know, even like a deathcore band or something. Like, we, you know, we don't sound like Suicide Silence or, you know, so I don't know, we're probably closer to that. So I think maybe there's, in that way we might sound somewhat close to them, because I think they kind of, that's a big influence on them as well. But no, I don't know. It's funny that I've been listening to Bleeding Through.
Oh, they're
and
great.
it's, yeah, and I wasn't really into them in their heyday. It was just like, I don't know, I just wasn't really in that scene. But like I'm listening. I actually go to Brandon's gym, and so I've been checking them out, and they're fucking amazing. I don't know how I missed that one, but
I interviewed Brendan in the summer of 2019. Great guy, and it was like their full-fledged reunion tour, and they played at a place in Brooklyn that was really really small, and
yeah,
I really thought the venue was actually gonna explode, like because of how many people were like pushed up against the wall and everything like that. It was insane.
yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
No, I know. If I'll definitely check him out. He's the coolest guy, man. He basically, kind of trains me, and I go to his gym like, multiple times a week. So
Hell yeah.
he's a great dude. Yeah, super great dude.
Your
But
your music has always been your music has been relatively experimental in a way, to the point where I do think that like it can appeal to multiple audiences. I mean, when it comes to songwriting, I mean, you already mentioned like getting heavier as you moved along, but has trying new things and experimenting with your sound always been part of the Cerebellion songwriting process, or like do you try to maybe stick with a certain formula?
yeah, no, good question. Yeah, we definitely experiment. I mean, perfect example is your shirt, Silosis. That's a band I've gotten into over the last 2-3 years, and Architects and some of the newer like kind of metalcore bands, and like, yeah, I mean, you start learning their stuff, and it's just like, how is it? It's definitely going to have an impact on your playing. So yeah, I mean, I think we kind of incorporate the different influences that we're always continually being influenced by new things. And then I don't think we're gonna like you're not gonna listen to us and go, oh yeah, they sound like Silosis, but we're definitely gonna incorporate some of those influences into our sound, but it still sounds like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you have the best of both worlds. I think you avoid a Cerebellion song sounding too much like a Cerebellion song, but I think
Right.
but I think you also avoid the pitfall of being all over the place. If you experiment too much, you're all over the place. If you don't experiment enough,
Right.
you're boring. So like I think in the end, it's your damned if
Right.
you do
Right.
and damned if you don't.
Totally.
Yep. Does it ever start off? Does every song sort of start off the same, or like has every song also called for its own approach? So are you always a riff-driven band, or is your music like fairly
Mm.
conceptual? Or because I know that the latest single that you just released, "Until I Could Breathe," is very inspired very much by the pandemic. So like, do concepts even influence on how you songwrite as well?
I don't know. We're probably like a lot of metal bands where the lyrics and the concepts come later. We do probably start with riffs and music. I mean, you know, usually riffs, but not, it could be like an acoustic part or something, or even a drum part, something like that. That's usually where it starts. And then, yeah, we kind of start musically, and then the vocals come later, vocals and lyrics.
Yeah.
We're trying to get those in sooner. I've been really interested in this idea. It's like, it seems like a lot of like really great songwriters kind of do it the opposite way, where they start with like even a concept or like a title of a song, like is the first thing, and like there's no music. It's like, wow, that blows my mind.
Yeah,
Because for us,
Sepultura
it's
does
like,
that a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So
and when it comes to seeing you live, like again, I wasn't expecting to see Cerebellion live that night. This was like, you were an accidental discovery for me, and it was a great accident, may I just say. Um, but
that's awesome.
but when it comes to playing live, is there maybe a similar energy that you all have in your live presence as you do when you're songwriting, or do you consider playing live and songwriting two completely separate art forms?
You know what? Not completely separate, because I know I'm very involved in the musical songwriting, like not so much the lyrics, or, a little bit of lyrics and vocals, but that's mostly my twin brother, our singer, Joe. But when I write, I do write with the idea of like, how is this going to work on stage? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm always kind of like thinking like, you want to write, obviously great songs that are, whatever. But to me, like I guess what really drives the idea of a great song is, how's this going to work live? Not only like, how does it make people move, and is it going to make people like the sing-alongs, like a sing-along at like any show is like one of my favorite things, as well as like the mosh pit, you know what I mean? So it's like, those things, I'm always thinking like, is this mosh worthy? Is it sing along worthy? You know, that kind of thing.
You and your brother should pull a prank on stage where you two switch instruments and switch roles and see if anybody notices. Because I already got
Oh,
fucked
they
up with it.
notice.
Oh, you've done it before?
No, but they would notice so fast because he's not a good guitar player. Not that I'm great, but he can barely play, and I'm not a great singer. I do sing backup, but I can't do what he does.
You got to rehearse one song where you do it. Like, just whatever song you're opening with, you each got to switch instruments and rehearse that. And see,
That's actually a great idea.
yeah, because I mean, you fooled me when you first logged on to the Zoom, so
Yeah.
yep.
Nah, I mean, identical twins, so
Yeah, yeah,
it happens.
yeah. Brothers in metal is always a common thing. You know, you got the Cavalera brothers, the Gojira brothers, the Alien Weaponry brothers. We got the Cerebellion brothers. So,
Oh, Alien Weaponry? Okay. I didn't know that about them.
yep, yep. The drummer and a singer guitar player are brothers.
Yeah. And speaking of Doc, you know, God forbid,
Oh yeah,
that was a combination.
can't go
Yeah.
wrong. God forbid either. So before we go,
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for your time today. Great to be able to talk with you. Can't believe that Fullerton show is going to be 2017. It's going to be 5 years ago.
Wow. What? Oh, because it was like early, right? It was January.
Yeah, yeah. It was after
It was
the.
like around NAM.
It was the day before NAM, I think.
Man,
So.
where's the new Vegas Nerve album?
Well, apparently there's this band that's taking off called Bad Wolves. Maybe you've heard of it.
Yeah.
So,
He's a little busy.
yeah.
He's a little busy.
But
Yep.
that first Vegas Nerve album was badass. I hope they continue to make some stuff soon. But is there anything with
For sure.
Cerebellion that you would like to promote? Any shows coming up? Can you maybe bring Cerebellion to the East Coast one day?
Oh man, we'd love to. Yeah, we'd absolutely love to. Yeah, we're trying to get things going for next year. Probably nothing this year. But yeah, no, I mean the EP comes out. Something You Can Say. It's called 4-song EP, out on next Tuesday, September 21st. So yeah, no, we're stoked on it. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some stuff lined out. We'd love to come to New York.
Yeah, and it's cool that you're releasing the album on a Tuesday, being old school. I see.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of competition, a lot of heavy competition for Friday. So
Yeah, but Tuesdays used to be the album release day, so maybe you'll start a trend.
Yep.
But
Yeah, for sure.
thank you so much, everybody. We are here with Cerebellion. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we will see you next time.